You guys were keen to hear a little bit about how we prepped for our recent branding photo shoot. So I thought I'd just jump on quickly and share quickly a few tips on what we do. Firstly, you obviously need to find a photographer that you would like to work with. You know, there's a lot out there and there's a lot that really specialize in doing some of this branding stuff. So you might be able to jump onto an actual group branding shoot where sometimes the photographers host it and you just hop yourself along and they have the location picked out and you get to take some shots of yourself, which is fantastic. Or you could choose to produce it yourself, which is what we've kind of done in the past, and you know, work with them, I guess, one-on-one as such, which possibly will cost a little bit more. In most cases it will, but you will get a little bit more of a personalized feel, I guess, in terms of what you want. So when you're talking to them, you just probably want to understand what the end result will be for you, how many edits you're going to get. You know, it's probably, on average, we probably would never spend more than $350 to $400, and we get an hour session with a photographer that brings us back, you know, around 13 to 15 edits, which is fantastic and more than enough to keep us going for, you know, up to a period of 3 months. The other good thing that a photographer can help you with is choosing a location. They obviously scout for these all the time, so they have a great bank of ideas. And a really good photographer will also direct you in terms of how you need to stand, how you need to sit, where your foot needs to go. Obviously remove that potential for double chins. But you know, they'll really help you, I guess, in getting value for money and getting a really quality shot. So after you've chosen your photographer, you need to move into production. We use Pinterest as a board for us to get some inspiration and ideas, and we share that board with our photographer so they see a full suite of what we like. You need to probably really put some thought into what you want to use the shots for. So they could certainly go across your socials, but they can be for a lot more than that. So if you want to incorporate them into your website, you might, for instance, need to make sure that you have some wide angle shots in landscape so that, you know, it accommodates any of your graphics. Or similarly, if you're doing the download, you want to make sure there's enough white space in the images so that you can actually put some text. So just have a think about what you're going to use the shots for, and also what you want to portray in them. So that will come back to your branding and your voice and the messages. You know, for us in this shoot, we really wanted to bring to life, I guess, our engagements with our clients. So we actually got a prop in the form of a real person. So we had someone sit in for us to be our client, which really is going to talk to what happens on an engagement with us. So a real life sort of situation. You want to think about light in your location. That's really important. It really assists and supports the photographer later on when it comes to editing. Probably from a timing perspective, you only need to allow up to an hour, and that will get you definitely, you know, 15 or 13 to 15 edits, which is fine. Things like your color palette, in terms of your branding color palette, comes into play with the location, but also the styling of yourself in terms of what you're going to wear. You don't want to clash with your palette at the end of the day. And also consider any of the props you're going to use, you know, for us, laptops, diaries, phones, all those sorts of things. And, you know, we made some dummy, you know, presentations and things like that that were in our branding, just so that we could always portray what we're doing in terms of ours. Just the little things there. You don't want to do a photo shoot and have an ugly Google picture on in the background on the phone or on the, you know, computer. Preparation for yourself, you certainly can go and get your makeup and hair styled. Jax and I are time poor and mums, and often we're doing this on the fly, so we tend to do our own. We have gone and got our makeup done before, but we just find that we just layer it up a little bit, go a bit more heavier on the eyes, add a couple of fake lashes, you know, maybe style our hair a little bit extra special that day. But you get what I mean. You don't have to go to a great expense is what we're trying to say. You can do this on a budget. And then the final thing is, I just make sure you have a run sheet for your photographer, which has got all of the information that I just talked about, but also gives them, I guess, a real feel for the types of shots that you've got, because the more that you provide them, the more they're going to actually really meet, I guess, the expectations that you have of the shots as well. So hope that helps. If you've got any other questions, just let us know in the comments and we'll answer. Good luck.